core, we all are chasing a feeling. We are not chasing working at a Microsoft. We're chasing a feeling, how it feels like when I work at a Microsoft.
Yes.
And I think when you are clear about that, then it becomes easier to manifest things. And you actually don't need to have that Microsoft job to
We're really
feel
sticking with this Microsoft.
to feel like a sense of
Satisfied,
achievement
yeah.
and sense of, you can actually create that feeling when you are thinking about it right now and meditating, and if you
Yeah.
are so like visiting that feeling again and again, you eventually will get that feeling often, and it becomes your nature, and you're
Yeah.
kind of blend into it, and you're not
Yes.
chasing that
Yes.
anymore.
And I'm really glad you brought this up because that brings me to another. Hi, everyone.
Hi everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of Casual Kura, a podcast where we casually talk about our experiences as Nepalese American women. Welcome
Yes.
back. Okay, guys. Today's episode plays or has a very close relationship to our hearts.
Mhm.
And that topic of conversation is manifestation mindset. So I feel like recently, at least in the past few years, manifestation has risen as a buzzword on social media. And a lot of people are talking about it. And we really want to dive into it and really see what manifestation means to us,
Yeah.
how we've been manifesting things in our lives, how we feel about manifestation, and all of that good stuff. So let's get into it.
Yes.
First and foremost, I want to start off with what we believe or how we define manifestation. So, personally, I think manifestation is when you bring your wishes and desires into life, into the tangible world. Do you agree with that?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your desires and specific goals that you want, or anything in your life, and making that like actually happen by just like thinking about it, but also like giving the action and all the energy it requires to make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, I feel like I've been manifesting for my entire life without even knowing what the word, that there existed a word to describe it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of times that's what people have been doing. But I don't know, I feel like manifesting now has really integrated itself into the way that I think about going about my life and how I achieve my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So as we get into this, I was wondering, what is your relationship with manifestation? Like, do you recall a moment where you realized or you had your aha moment where you stopped and you were like, oh my gosh, like this is a result of me manifesting? And even like, let's go even before that. How do you practice manifestation?
Mm-hmm. I think my journey has been like I wasn't so familiar with all of these terms and like growing up. So it was something that I learned much later in my adult life. And like thinking about it, like now I know the terms, and when I look back, I like, yeah, like all of the things that I imagined for myself, it actually ended up happening. So it is kind of manifestation, but I guess it's like I wasn't aware enough that like oh, okay, this is the way actually I did it and all of that. But when I look back, like, oh yeah, all of the things, like I really wanted to go to a creative field, go to a college and get a nice job and all of that, and it did end up happening, all of the things that I wanted to, but I didn't know the word
Yeah.
manifestation.
Yeah.
Now I think like throughout the journey, like, and when I did know the term of manifestation, then now I'm now actively like thinking and trying to make certain things happen in my life.
Yeah.
um Through that phase too, like life always doesn't, like, I want this, but it always doesn't give you that, and there are like times I do feel disappointed in things. And I think when I stepped into like this freelance world, there's like so much uncertainty that you're like constantly disappointed. And I think my experience of going through like this uncertainty through in my life, like it has brought me to the point of like surrendering to everything. And like I am trying my best throughout the whole process, and if it doesn't happen in a certain way, then it's not meant to be, and like it is happening for something better, but I just
Yeah.
don't know now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's where like my like relationship with manifestation has like
Yeah.
brought me to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a good way to go about it though. Like not really being attached to any one particular thing and always knowing that whatever is meant to happen will happen. And I think
Mhm.
that's, I mean, I agree. I think that's how I approach things in
Mhm.
my own world.
Yeah.
Like obviously I feel like us as individuals have certain dreams and goals and aspirations, and but we are also both people that are okay with what unfolds in front of us,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
that's really interesting. I feel like for me, as I mentioned, I think I've known of manifestation, not like the word as similar to you throughout my entire life. And I feel like in my day to day, I'm a Pisces, by the way. So, like, I feel like in my day to day, I am always daydreaming about certain things and,
Mhm.
like, wishing. And I feel like I've developed this very opportunistic question mark. I think that's a
Uh-huh.
word. Optimistic attitude towards life, and I don't know if y'all agree with me, but I am a firm believer that whatever you want, you can have. Like I don't know. I think that's just the way that I go about life, and
Mhm.
if you really want something, you will get it.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of what manifesting and current definition is like that is what it is. Like you're
Mhm.
manifesting what you want in your real life. But I don't know because I similar to you. I think about a lot of moments in my life and where I want to be, et cetera, et cetera. Like I feel like we all had our 5-year plans that didn't work out, but regardless of that,
Mhm.
I think that you are where you're meant to be.
Yeah, I
And yeah, there have been many points in my life where something has unfolded in front of me and I've just thought to myself, this is literally what I was thinking
oh
about
my
like not too long ago. This is so crazy to me. But yeah.
Yeah, do you want to share an
Oh my
experience that
god.
opportunity happened?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think one, and I think this is a very simple experience, but I think it was a moment where I really, it was like my aha moment
Uh-huh.
where I was filled with so much gratitude,
Mhm.
and it made me realize like wait, if I believe, maybe if I believe, maybe it will happen. And that was when I went off to college like all those years ago. But yeah, and it was so interesting to me. So basically I was dead, like my head, all I wanted to do in my life at that point was dorm. Like I wanted to leave New York City. I wanted to live the pure college life. Like I just wanted that experience for myself.
Mhm.
And I mean, listen, I was a big fat nerd in high school, okay? And so literally like every single day of high school, I would just dream, oh my gosh, like I can't wait to go to college. I can't wait to like be in my little dorm room with my little
Mhm.
friends. Like that was just something that I would constantly tell myself and believe like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And I remember it was like senior year, and I don't know about you, but college decision day was a big thing in my high school. And, they would gather all the students in the gymnasium, and we would all just celebrate where everyone was going to college. It was like really super cute.
Mhm.
And I remember like during that whole entire application process, I would hear back from schools. And, it was a really disappointing experience, to be honest, because I would get accepted into like my dream schools that were out of state, but I just couldn't afford it. Like
Aw.
the financial aid didn't give enough, and I
Mhm.
could not pay to live on campus. And it was really devastating. It was a really devastating process. And I remember it was like a few days before college decision day where you had to mark down officially like where you were going to go to school. And I was just like, I guess this is it. I guess this is like my life now because the only school that or schools that I could afford was City University of New
Mm-hmm,
York or
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
CUNY if you live in the
Yeah.
city. And that would mean would have to commute to school. And, I just accepted my fate, but I don't know. I feel like I was still daydreaming and fantasizing about like what it would be like to have this experience that was not me commuting to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember during college decision day, like I had my shirt and everything. Okay, I had my CUNY shirt and everything, and I was just like, I'm going to CUNY, like yay. It was not very yay, but
Mm-hmm,
like I was
mm-hmm.
just like, what's meant to be is meant to
Meant
be.
to
I'm
be,
like,
yeah.
I wasn't angry. I was just like,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, like
yeah.
this is just what I'm. This is just
A
what I'm gonna
slight
have to. Yeah, but it's
disappointment.
okay. Everything is. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then it was a week later, I get a phone call from the university that I actually attended, and they're like, "Hey, by the way, you're like accepted into our
Mm-hmm.
school. So what's the dealio, Julio?" And I was so shocked by it because it came so late. But at the same time, I was so thrilled and excited. And I remember I didn't get ahead of myself because I was like, okay, I need to check the financial aid first. And so it just unfolded so quickly where I, checked the aid and it was great.
Uh-huh.
And then I ended up moving out a few weeks later. And it was just like, it was such a, I don't know, like I think about it often, honestly, because it was such
Mm-hmm.
to me, it was like a chance of luck, even. And yeah, and since then, like I feel like that may have been like my oh my gosh experience, but since then
Mm-hmm.
there have been so many others where I will I will think about something and like
Uh-huh.
it'll just happen. I don't know.
Did you know of the word manifestation? And
No,
okay, it
I
was just
didn't.
like
And
a
that's
strong desire.
yeah, it was a strong desire and also like I feel like like once again I feel like manifestation this word has become very buzzy recently.
Uh-huh.
And I want to emphasize
Yeah.
recently because I think social media has really taken it to the next level. Um and now there's like so many people talking about how to manifest, how to do it properly, et cetera, et cetera, et
Mm-hmm,
cetera.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't know that manifestation was a thing. It was just something that honestly, this actually opens a really good topic of conversation and a door that I think is real. I think everyone manifests in their own way. Like I
Yeah,
don't.
I was thinking about this. Like when we talk about manifestation, I think we're so far fetched we think about. But I
Yeah,
think about a simple thing like you're thirsty and you think about I'm thirsty and I'm gonna get water. See,
yeah,
like there's a thought and you
and
thought about
action.
grabbing a glass and drinking
Yeah,
and you actually doing it. Like you just
yeah.
manifested drinking
See,
water.
that's actually a really good gateway to what I feel like I've been thinking about recently. It's like I think social media especially has created manifestation as this thing that is very like you mentioned like very out of reach. Like you need to go
Yeah.
through so many steps in order to fully manifest. Like I've watched so many videos about people talking for like hours about how to properly manifest, which is why I put it in quotes because they'll be like, oh, you need to do this and this. Like, you need to journal a specific way. You need to like buy a pin board and like print out photos and like all of this stuff. And which don't get me wrong, I'm 100% certain that that is a way of manifesting. I think manifesting can take on different forms,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's this like abstract idea that is inaccessible and like you need to go through all these levels. I think if you are someone that has a dream and a like a even a goal,
Mm-hmm.
then you can have that happen in your life. And obviously like once again I think there are different ways to really focus on that goal and which is why I do think that journaling about your
Yeah.
wishes and desires is very helpful. I do think that printing photos out and putting them on a like board is is helpful. Do I think it's required for everyone? No. Like, I think
Yeah.
if you have a certain goal in mind and you really want it, like, I think all you have to do is remind yourself that it will happen or trust that it will happen and pursue
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And I feel like everybody is different and like everybody's different and the way they pursue things are different. And you might want to do a vision board, might as well
Yeah.
I want to do a
Yeah,
journal. And there's so
exactly.
many ways to get to that goal.
Right.
And I think it's very practical way of thinking
Yeah.
manifestation, and everybody is actually doing it in their
Yeah.
daily lives.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that, like, see, that's why it's this mindset part of manifestation mindset is so important, because I think it's not necessarily the physical things that you do per se. It's more so your thought, intention, and mind behind it. So, like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you're someone who, let's say, okay, what's like an example of a goal? Really want to work at Microsoft. I don't fucking
Yeah.
know. Like, you really want to work at Microsoft, and that's like your dream, and it's what you're trying to manifest. Like, it would be one thing if you say, okay, I want to do this, and you journal and you make those boards and you meditate, and every time you meditate you're like, I'm going to get this job. If you don't have the mindset that you deserve it, girl, I don't like that. Who, I don't know, I feel like that's, it's, you're not gonna let that into your world. See,
Mm-hmm.
do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
you need to be open to it, and you need to believe that you
You
can achieve it,
deserve.
you can
Yeah.
believe that you deserve it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like when you like trying to manifest, I think they say like always say it in a present term, and that it's
Yeah,
so true. Like,
exactly.
yeah,
Like,
because you have to believe it first,
yeah,
and they would then it would come to you.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also really trying to capture the feeling. And I think you can speak to this more than I
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
but like, when you manifest something, I've also heard that, you have to like imagine how you feel when you get this thing. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's so important, because that's you living in that
Yeah.
space in that
Yeah.
moment.
I strongly believe in this. Like I think at the core, we all are chasing a feeling. We are not chasing working at a Microsoft. We're chasing a feeling how it feels like when I work at a Microsoft.
Yes, yes.
And I think when you are clear about that, then it becomes easier to manifest things. And you actually don't need to have that Microsoft job to
We're really
feel
sticking with this Microsoft.
yeah, to feel like a sense of
Satisfied.
achievement
Yeah.
and sense of, yeah, you can actually create that feeling when you are thinking about it right now and meditating, and if you
Yeah.
are so like visiting that feeling again and again, you eventually will get that feeling often, and it becomes your nature, and you're
Yeah.
kind of blend into it, and you're not
Yes.
chasing that
Yes, and
anymore.
I'm really glad you brought this up, because that brings me to another point that is very closely tied with manifestation, and that is gratitude. I think that, once again, when you are in this manifestation mindset, as we're calling it, being grateful for what you have right now is so important to accepting more into your life. I
Exactly.
think that, when you think about your current state and you're not satisfied, or like whatever this negative feeling is, it's very hard to accept good. And it reminds me of this, it's a Lana Del Rey lyric, but it's actually a philosophy if you really think about it. And it's, heaven is a place on earth. And I think that that statement is so strong and powerful, because, okay, whether you're a religious person or not, whether you're a spiritual person or not, I think your mind and where your mind is at the present is so important to determining happiness and like how you feel about living in this world. For me, it's like, happiness is a, like, not happiness, heaven is a place on earth, because that's your mind. Like, if you are grateful for everything that you have right now, and if you are happy, and if you are finding joy and contentment
Hmm.
in the little things in your daily life, like literally Reach and I went to get lunch earlier today and went on a little walk ski, and it was so cute, and it was so
Yeah.
fulfilling, and like really tapping into those little moments of your day-to-day life where you're like, wow, like the sun is really warm today. I know it sounds like so like, oh, what is she doing, like what does she mean by that?
No,
No,
it
like,
totally makes
these little
sense.
things, like the sun is so warm today, that flower is so pretty, like you really have to romanticize your life, guys. Like, this is not a joke. Like, you really need to sit out there and really like soak it all in. And I
Hmm.
think that when you live life that way, it's so much more easier to feel good feelings. And
Hmm.
it's so important to feel good feelings, because then you can transpire those feelings when you are manifesting, or like thinking about what you want in the future. Like, if you're in a constant
Yeah.
state of disappointment with your life right now, how can you even like transcend into a different state. Like, if you're not happy now, are you really going to be happy then?
Mm-hmm. So true. I like beautifully stated, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I think, yeah, gratitude is so, so, so important because wherever you are at the point of life, there are things to be grateful about.
So
You
many
do
things.
have so many things to be grateful about. And I think the abundance mindset comes from that. Like,
Listen,
yeah, if
abundance attracts
yeah,
abundance. Like,
exactly. You already have so many things to be grateful about. So if you do that properly, then you will attract more abundance because you
yeah,
are like abundance and you
yeah,
are like feeling abundant
yeah,
all the time. And of course,
exactly.
you are going to attract more abundance into your life. Yeah. So
Well
that's why
said.
like really dreading, not dreading, like longing and wanting for things. I think that, yeah,
Yearning.
yearning for things that like doesn't work in your favor because I think the manifestation works is like whatever you are, you attract that.
Mhm.
So like,
Yeah. Wait,
yeah.
Rachel, do you want to speak about energies and our energies? She was telling me about this earlier, and I feel like it's some really good
What
insight.
did I say?
You were,
Energies.
yeah, like how, the energy that you put out into the world, and
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
when you
yeah,
think
yeah,
about something, that there's an energy attached to it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is something like one of my high moments was like
Girl,
it's
yes, we love
crazy.
that.
It's crazy because I think at that time I was very, very obsessed about being present.
Hmm.
And that high moment took me to a world where what happens if you are so present, like hyper present, like what would that look like? Um, and like each millisecond, I think like whatever was going on, I like was like it felt like my
Being high will do that to you.
I was like, it felt like when I looked at that letter, it's like I am like throwing a laser at it. And it felt
Yeah.
like I was feeling everything. Like wherever I look, like I would feel so
Yeah.
intensely because I was that present at that
Hmm.
time. Like that took me to like to my inner world and I like started seeing everything as a ball of light and I am a ball of light and we are
Ooh,
and
girl.
there are like million ball of lights like within our body and like each thought you create is like a
Ooh,
ball of light, like an energy. Yeah, so it's like
stop.
constantly going through your body. So like if you have a negative thought, then you are creating those
That,
energy, like that
yeah.
ball of energy that is like negative.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then vice versa when you do a positive thinking and like your thoughts have energy and it's like reacting in your body
It's
the whole
true.
time. And
Listen,
I feel
yeah.
like that was like my high, like I don't know, scientific
No,
moment that I had.
wow, you
It
really transgressed the timelines of the universe. I love
yeah,
that.
I felt like, oh my god, I know what this is. Like I felt like I
Yeah.
know like
She was
everything.
all knowing in that moment.
But I don't know, it could be like just my mind making up stuff, but it felt
No, I
so
feel
real.
like
I
that's
felt
so,
like that's how we live the whole like
and I
our
believe it.
lives.
And I believe
Yeah, and it
it.
made sense to me. Like,
Yeah. Girl, I'm
yeah.
telling you, like, okay, here's the thing. I feel like we don't understand how much power our minds have, like our actual brains have.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, this is a fun fact, but I think that it really attests to the power of our heads. Did you know that if you believe if you believe in your head, if you are convinced you are pregnant, your body will start showing symptoms of pregnancy. Did y'all know that? Well, as a woman,
Yeah,
but like,
placebo is so
yeah, the
real, so
placebo effect
real.
is so real. So like, okay, that's I'm just gonna use that as an example. Like, I think there's this question going around of like, oh, are you just a body with a brain or a brain with a body? Girl, you're a vessel with a soul. Like, it's just like there's just so many things, and I feel like we really don't understand the power our minds have, and we really need to sit down with ourselves, because if your body, if your head can convince your body that you're pregnant, girl, can you imagine the impact a single like negative thought has on
Yeah.
your nervous system, or a single positive thought has on your heart? Not to get poetic, but like these are things that are very real, and I think that we
Yeah.
don't think about it as often, which is why like when we are talking about how important it is to be positive and optimistic in your life and really accept those moments of gratitude and see, the goodness in your everyday, we're being so for real, because that shit really impacts who you are, and
Mm-hmm.
also impacts
Heavily.
the things that you bring into your life. Like, back to my statement about heaven is a place on earth, like, I feel like, oh my god, I was watching this TikTok a while ago, and it was this girl, and she was talking about, you guys are so worried about going to heaven and hell, y'all are living in
In
it, you're
it.
literally
I
living in it.
truly
Like,
believe that
and
too.
she was saying about how, like, if you're someone that is very negative with your life, and you don't really like, you're just not feeling good about the things that they are, and you're just like miserable, and you find the bad things in everything, what makes you think that after death you're going to transgress into this space where all of a sudden everything is good? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You don't even know what that feels like,
Yeah.
because you haven't even allowed yourself to feel that way in this world. Anyways,
I have an experience to share.
oh, tea.
So like me and my friend Saguna, we were doing
Yeah.
this experiment at a park where we went around the park saying the statement, I hate. And then we walked for 10 minutes around the park, thinking the word, what do I hate? And we have to
Yeah,
pick
same.
things that we hate.
Ooh, that sounds
And
like a really bad
yeah,
exercise.
yeah. So we went around, and the experience was so like I physically felt so heavy when I did that, and everybody's faces when I saw like people who are very lonely, or like I didn't even see one person smile.
Mm.
um and like even though if I saw like somebody running or like somebody doing a very good activity, like I would make it feel like, oh, they're such a show off, like why are they like da da
Ooh,
da, like, and
yeah.
that experience, like I think like I physically felt like I literally had like a headache towards the
Mm-hmm.
end of that experience. And we did like this opposite exercise where we did the same activity, but this time we were thinking about I love. What do I love when I walk around this park? And like though that dirty park felt like I was focusing more toward nature, and there was like a beautiful sunset going on, and like all of my mind went to a beauty around the park. And whenever I saw somebody like look, even the person that was alone, like they took out their time, they came to the park and they are like
Yeah.
having their solo moment,
Yeah.
enjoying the nature, and like everything I saw the same thing, but like the perspective was just like so inspiring, and I just saw so much good in other people. And like this time when I was going around, I got approached by people, they wanted to talk to me, like this yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I saw so many people smiling. I think that just says like how much your perception like makes you feel a certain way and impacts your life. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so do you go around telling yourself like I hate this, I hate that, nothing is working, nothing is happening? Or
Mm-hmm.
do you go around saying, hey, like I'm so grateful for whatever I have, I
Yeah.
love this, I love that? Like, which
Yeah.
way are you approaching your life? And it makes like a huge impact,
Yeah,
yeah, in your life.
I 100% agree. And that's such an interesting exercise. And
It
I think it's
is.
definitely something to put into perspective and practice and see how it makes you guys feel. But that's what I think we're both trying to say, is mentality and the way that you perceive what's going out in the world and your
Mm-hmm.
life is so important and crucial. And
Yeah.
it really is a projection of how you perceive yourself, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. And like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you go into the world being an optimist and loving and, putting that out there, it will come back to you. And
Yeah.
energy is so important,
It
and
is.
just transgressing that energy out.
Yeah. And it's like manifesting in a simpler term is you're just attracting whatever you are. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are thinking more about positive thinking, being grateful, and like just yeah, being grateful about whatever you have and feeling abundant of whatever you have at
You'll
the
attract
moment.
that.
Yeah, and you will attract that abundance. That's just like science. That's just like
It's just science, guys. No, but I definitely agree. Whether you're religious or spiritual or not, I do think that how you believe about the life that you're living right now, and
hmm
how you feel about it, and the positivity that you might emit versus the negativity is really the space that you create for yourself. So when you are in this manifestation process and you are in a place where like you don't feel good or you don't feel gratitude for whatever is already in your life,
Uh-huh.
it's going to be difficult to get to where you want to be versus if you are already grateful, if you are
Mm-hmm.
already telling yourself you are satisfied with where you are right now, I think having that feeling and even putting that feeling into your manifestations, because manifestation is just a projection of how you feel out into the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this reminds me of this experience I had.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a 10-day silent meditation retreat. It's called
Yeah.
Vipassana. And I think that experience was so eye opening. Like, towards the end of the whole meditation, like, I was so attuned with my body. I was feeling these sensations that I was never aware of. And there is, like, actually a lot of things that going in your body, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's going on in your body. And that experiment, kind of like relating it to manifestation, we're never actually chasing a tangible thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're always chasing this sensation, this feeling.
Yeah.
Like, how do we want to feel? I think at the core we're always chasing that. And you actually do not need to get that dream job and get these, far fetched things. Like, to get that feeling, you can actually think, like, meditate and feel that feeling right now. Like, because all of the feelings are very approachable. If you want to feel satisfaction, there
Mm-hmm.
is something that you can do right now, or
Mm-hmm.
think about something that makes you feel satisfied.
Yeah.
And, like, I think manifestation, it relates it to, like I don't know, manifesting feeling is, I think, is like such a nice way to approach, because you can
Mm-hmm.
get entangled into, like these core goals, and that's not the point. You're always like chasing a feeling when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so, like, right now I'm like really meditating. Whenever I like thinking about manifestation, I always try to focus in feeling and like regenerating that feeling right now for me.
Yeah.
And I think that works so well in attracting it, because I
Yeah.
think that's how law of attraction work. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you are, you attract. And the feeling, you don't have to wait until you get your dream job. Yeah, you can create that feeling right now,
Yeah.
and it would feel more natural when it actually happens.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that when you get into this mindset once again of accepting good things and being optimistic and
Mm-hmm.
being grateful in your day-to-day life, it's so much easier to recognize those feelings in the future when you do manifest, when you do get that dream job, or when you do get this whatever it is that your dreams and goals and aspirations are.
Uh-huh.
But I agree with you. I do think at the core it is a feeling. And I think that for you, and maybe for you, meditating is a way to really capture those feelings of satisfaction and
Uh-huh.
happiness.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
That is the end
And
of today's episode. Let us know if you want a part two, because there's so much more that we can talk about.
yes.
Excuse me. But thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like,
Subscribe and comment.
and we'll see you in the next one.
Yes, bye.
Bye.